The galaxy had never been this quiet. Normally, star systems buzzed with activity. Ships traveling between planets, signals of trade, messages of diplomacy, and the occasional alert about pirate raids. But now entire regions of space had gone silent. Captain Mira Lang stared at the holomap aboard the Odyssey, her brow furrowed. The dots representing active star systems blinked out one by one. Hundreds, then thousands of systems disappeared from the sensors. Not destroyed, not in chaos, just gone. Silence, weird, said Lieutenant Kiro, Mira's communications officer. His eyes were wide as he scanned incoming data. It's like someone pressed pause on the galaxy. Mira didn't answer right away. Her mind raced. She had faced strange phenomena before. Black holes, rogue comets, and even alien storms, but nothing like this. Entire star systems freezing without warning. It was unprecedented. Prepare the long-range scanners, she finally said, her voice steady. We need to find out what's causing this. The crew moved quickly. Engineers checked the ship's systems while science officers ran simulations on the anomalies. Yet nothing explained the sudden silence. No explosions, no energy surges, just a vacuum of activity. From the bridge, Mira watched as a massive shadow appeared on the scanners, a ship unlike anything humanity had encountered. It was enormous, its shape sleek yet imposing, almost like a city floating in space. Energy readings pulsed gently from its surface, almost like a heartbeat. What is that? Kiro whispered. Mira leaned closer. Whatever it is, it's not damaged. It's just waiting. Should we approach? Asked Ensign Tala, the youngest crew member, her voice tinged with both excitement and fear. Mira nodded slowly. Yes, carefully. This could be the key to understanding what's happening. As the Odyssey moved closer, strange patterns appeared on the sensors. Signals flickered briefly, but no words came through. Then, in an instant, a voice, soft, melodic and impossible to translate fully, echoed inside the ship. It wasn't threatening, but it was commanding. The translator struggled, producing fragments of words. Pause, choice, delay, joy. Joy? Kiro said, frowning. In a galaxy-wide silence? Mira rubbed her temple. We'll have to get closer. That's our only chance to understand what's going on. The ship drew nearer to the alien vessel, and the Odyssey's sensors detected life. Millions, maybe billions of life forms aboard, but none of them moved. Not a single ship in the fleet responded. Not one communication beam, not one warning signal. It was as if the entire civilization had frozen in place. Captain, said the science officer, Dr. Halen, I'm detecting a single life force moving inside the main ship. Everyone else is in stasis. Mira's eyes widened. Just one? Yes, Halen said. And the readings are unusual. Human-like patterns, but alien. Strong emotion. Excitement. Amusement. Maybe even affection. Mira felt a chill run down her spine. Are you saying this could be caused by one being? Halen nodded slowly. It's possible. Their species might function differently. Perhaps one individual can influence an entire civilization. Mira took a deep breath. Then we have to find out who it is. That's our priority. They approached the vessel cautiously. Using the ship's scanners, Mira tried to locate the source of the unusual life force. Finally, they pinpointed it. A large chamber in the heart of the alien ship. There, the sensors indicated a single presence radiating immense influence. Open a channel, Mira said. Let's try communication. Static filled the bridge. Then suddenly a soft voice spoke, gentle, warm, and almost musical. The words were strange, but the translation made sense enough. Do not disturb me. I'm occupied. Mira's heart skipped a beat. Occupied by what? The sensors clarified. 2 life forces. One was the commanding presence, the other. Human Kiro nearly dropped his datapad. There's a human inside their capital ship? Yes, Mira said, stunned. And this human seems to be the reason the entire galaxy is paused. The crew stared in disbelief. It seemed impossible. Humans were small, fragile creatures in the grand scope of the galaxy. Yet somehow this human had captured the attention of a being so powerful that it could stop entire star systems in their tracks. Let's try a direct approach, Mira said, determination in her voice. We need to understand what's happening. But we must proceed carefully. One wrong move and, well, the galaxy might remain silent forever. The Odyssey moved closer to the chamber, sending out cautious, friendly signals. The alien queen, the life force commanding the ship, responded, her voice gentle but firm. You may observe, but do not interfere. I am engaged. Engaged? Tala asked, confused. What does that even mean? Apparently a date, Halen muttered. A literal date. With a human. The crew laughed nervously, unable to believe it. They were facing the most powerful alien civilization in the galaxy, and it had stopped because the queen was on a date with a human. Humans. Always finding ways to surprise, Mira said quietly. She felt both fear and awe. This human, unknown, untrained, yet somehow captivating, was changing the course of history without even trying. The Odyssey's crew spent hours observing. The human and the queen were in a vast chamber, surrounded by alien technology and shimmering lights. They moved gracefully, talking, laughing, and occasionally gesturing toward stars outside the ship. Every laugh, every smile seemed to send ripples through the alien vessel, keeping the rest of the galaxy in a suspended state. Kiro shook his head. I still can't believe this is happening. One human and just one, and billions of lives are paused. Mira nodded. It's not just power or weapons. It's influence, emotion, understanding. The things we sometimes overlook. Humanity has something unique, something no one else has. Hours passed. The Odyssey's crew debated their next move. Should they intervene? Try to communicate directly with the human? Or simply watch and document history unfolding before their eyes? Mira finally made a decision. We observe, we learn, and we prepare. When the time is right, we might get a chance to help, or at least witness, one of the greatest events the galaxy has ever seen. As the stars outside continued to shimmer silently, Mira realized something profound. Humanity's place in the universe was not defined by fleets or weapons. Sometimes it was defined by courage, empathy, and the ability to connect, no matter how small or fragile a human might seem. For the first time, Mira understood that the galaxy's silence was not a threat. It was a pause, a moment of choice, and a reminder that even the smallest beings could make a difference. And somewhere, deep within the alien queen's chamber, laughter echoed, a sound so warm, so pure, that it held an entire galaxy in suspension. The mission of the Odyssey had changed. No longer was it just an exploration or investigation. It had become a front-row seat to a story that would be told for centuries, the story of a human who had stopped the galaxy, and of the queen who refused to end a date she didn't want to finish. The galaxy remained in silence. Star systems, fleets, and entire planets were frozen, held in the invisible grip of one being's choice. Captain Mira Lang sat on the bridge of the Odyssey, staring at the alien queen's massive vessel. Every moment the sensors showed the human and the queen together. She felt a mixture of awe and disbelief. How is this possible? Lieutenant Kiro asked, pacing the bridge nervously. One human, and the entire galaxy just stopped? Mira leaned back, crossing her arms. We saw it ourselves. This human isn't just lucky. They have a presence, a kind of influence that even the most advanced civilizations can't ignore. And the queen? She's not like any ruler we've ever read about. Dr. Halen, the science officer, pointed at the holographic display. Captain, I've been analyzing the queen's energy field. It's not purely technological. It's biological, emotional. Her mood directly affects the operational systems of her fleets and colonies. When she is focused on something or someone, everything else is suspended. She has absolute control, unconsciously or not. Tala's eyes widened. You mean, she's powerful enough to pause a galaxy, just because she wants to? Yes, Mira said quietly. And right now, she wants to spend time with a human. The crew fell silent for a moment. The thought was absurd and thrilling at the same time. Humans were tiny, fragile creatures in the cosmic scale. Yet here, in the heart of the most advanced civilization, a human had the queen's attention in a way no weapon, no fleet, no negotiation ever could. Should we try to contact the human? Kiro asked cautiously. Maybe talk to them? Mira shook her head. No, not yet. This is delicate. One wrong move and we could break the balance. The queen might retract or worse, take defensive action. We observe, we learn. That's our job. Hours passed. The crew observed the chamber where the human and the queen were together. Holographic images projected around them, showing stars, planets, and ancient alien architectures. The human, tall, calm, and curious, gestured toward the displays, asking questions and laughing at the queen's playful responses. The Queen's energy shifted with each interaction. When the human spoke, her energy softened, pulses of calm spreading through the ship. When they laughed together, the vibrations expanded, reaching distant fleets and colonies. The galaxy remained still but not tense. It felt suspended in harmony. Dr. Halen broke the quiet. "Captain, I've run simulations. If the Queen remains in this state for too long, entire sectors could experience economic collapse. Systems dependent on her command could be vulnerable, but no one is in danger yet. Her restraint is precise." Mira nodded slowly. "Then we have time, but not much. We need to understand her motives and find a way to communicate indirectly if necessary. Humanity's future might depend on it." Lieutenant Kiro raised a concern. "Captain, what if this human leaves? The Queen might resume normal operations immediately, and the galaxy could face chaos again after a sudden restart." Mira's expression was thoughtful. "Then we need to make sure this human understands the situation. Without interference, yes, but they must realize the weight of what they've done, even unknowingly." Meanwhile, aboard the alien vessel, the human, whose name was revealed to be Jaren, continued interacting with the Queen. Jaren's simple gestures, like pointing out constellations or asking questions about planets, made the Queen laugh. Her laughter was light and musical, a sound so powerful it seemed to ripple through the galaxy. "Interesting," Tala said, whispering. "It's like the human doesn't even realize how much they're affecting her." "Exactly," Mira said. "Humans often act without knowing the full consequences. Sometimes it works in their favor." Dr. Halen added, "It's not just chance. The human's intelligence, curiosity, and empathy, they resonate with the Queen on a level that no alien logic or protocol can match. In essence, the Queen is responding to the human's humanity." The Odyssey's crew realized something profound. This wasn't just about one human or one Queen. It was a demonstration of what humans could offer the galaxy. Their creativity, empathy, and ability to connect on a personal level gave them influence beyond size or strength. Mira stood, her eyes fixed on the holographic projection. This is humanity's moment. Not a battle, not a conquest, but proof that we belong here, in the galactic stage, in ways no one else can predict. As the day turned to night aboard the Odyssey, the crew studied the Queen's behavior. They noticed subtle patterns. When Jaren complimented her insights or asked sincere questions, her influence strengthened, holding the galaxy in perfect suspension. When she encountered something unexpected, her energy fluctuated, causing brief, harmless anomalies in nearby star systems. Kiro shook his head. "It's like she's alive in a way we can't even imagine, and we're just watching, powerless." "No," Mira said firmly. "We're not powerless. We're learning. That's the first step. Knowledge is always power." Suddenly, the sensors picked up a disturbance. Another alien faction, one that had not been frozen, was approaching the region. Ships of unfamiliar design moved cautiously, scanning for threats. They had not been affected by the Queen's pause and were unaware of what was happening. "They might think we caused the silence," Tala said nervously. Mira nodded. "Then we must remain neutral, invisible if possible. Our priority is observation, diplomacy, and understanding. No interference." The Odyssey adjusted its course, hiding behind a nearby asteroid field while keeping the Queen's chamber in view. From here, the crew could observe without revealing themselves. Hours passed again. The Queen's laughter echoed faintly through the sensors, a reminder of the strange, powerful bond forming across species. Jaren's questions and simple gestures, leaning forward to examine a projection, pointing to a distant star, or sharing a small joke, kept her fully engaged. The galaxy still paused, seemed to hold its breath, waiting. Finally, Dr. Halen spoke. "Captain, I think I understand something crucial. The Queen doesn't just pause the galaxy because she wants to spend time with Jaren. She trusts them. Her decision to pause everything indicates a willingness to let a human influence her decisions, at least temporarily." Mira's eyes narrowed. "Trust in a human? That's remarkable. And dangerous if misused. But it's also an opportunity. We can learn, communicate, and maybe even guide the outcome without interfering directly." Lieutenant Kiro looked impressed. "So, humans really do have something special. Not technology, not weapons, just humanity itself." "Exactly," Mira said, "and that's why the galaxy paused. Not fear, not conquest, but connection, curiosity, trust, and perhaps a bit of playfulness." The crew watched quietly as Jaren continued to engage the Queen. She leaned closer, her attention fully on him, while distant fleets and systems remained motionless. In this silent galaxy, it was a human's curiosity, questions, and kindness that held power greater than any weapon or strategy. Mira sighed. It's incredible. And we are witnessing history. Humanity has shown its place not through force but through understanding, empathy, and courage. That's what makes us different. That's what makes us influential, Tala smiled, and all it took was a date. Mira allowed herself a small laugh. Yes, a date, but also a reminder. Influence comes from connection, not domination. And if we remember that, humans might just thrive among the stars. As night fell across the bridge, the Odyssey's crew remained vigilant. Observation was their mission, but understanding was their goal. Every interaction between the human and the Queen offered insight into alien psychology, the power of empathy, and humanity's unique potential in the galaxy. Somewhere in the paused galaxy, laughter continued to ripple outward, a single, human-scale influence holding the cosmos in perfect suspended harmony, and humanity, small but powerful in its own way, was at the center of it all. Captain Mira Lang leaned back in her chair, watching the stars shimmer outside. She understood now more than ever. The galaxy could be silent, fleets could be still, and worlds could wait, but the human spirit, cleverness, and courage would always leave a mark, and so, the adventure continued with one human, one alien queen, and an entire galaxy hanging in the balance of a choice that would define not just the present, but the future of humanity among the stars. The galaxy remained still. Star systems, fleets, and distant colonies lay frozen, paused by the will of the alien queen. Yet aboard the Odyssey, life moved steadily. Captain Mira Lang and her crew observed, analyzed, and prepared. They knew they were witnessing something extraordinary, a rare moment where human ingenuity could shine without guns or armies. Dr. Hallen was the first to speak that morning. Captain, I think we can attempt indirect communication with the Queen. Not direct interference, but subtle signals she might interpret as curiosity or conversation. Mira raised an eyebrow. Go on. Hallen explained his plan. The human Jaren had captivated the Queen through simple questions and observations. Hallen suggested using holographic projections to mimic similar gestures, like highlighting distant stars or showing human culture, hoping the Queen would notice the patterns and respond. Lieutenant Kiro frowned. You're saying we can influence her? With projections? That sounds risky. Mira smiled slightly. Sometimes the smallest actions have the largest impact. Humanity doesn't always need force to make a difference. It's about intelligence, creativity, and subtlety. That's our strength. The crew spent hours designing projections. They displayed Earth's landscapes, distant constellations, and even cultural artifacts. They added small touches, human humor, clever questions, and thoughtful observations meant to intrigue, not offend. Once ready, the projections were sent into the Queen's chamber. The sensors picked up slight movements, almost imperceptible shifts in energy. The Queen paused, her attention caught by the new visuals. Jaren noticed too, pointing and laughing gently. It's working, Dr. Hallen whispered. She's noticing our gestures, but she's treating them as part of her interaction with the human. Clever, Captain. Very clever, Mira nodded. Exactly. We aren't interfering. We are observing, learning, and assisting humanity's place in the galaxy without overstepping. That's how we survive. That's how humans thrive. Hours turned into days. The Queen's responses became more predictable. Small fluctuations in her energy could be observed whenever she noticed thoughtful projections or new ideas from Jaren. It was as if she was silently acknowledging human ingenuity, appreciating creativity even without words. Meanwhile, outside the Queen's vessel, other alien factions were beginning to stir. Some had remained frozen. Others were approaching cautiously. They were unaware of the reason behind the galaxy-wide pause. Fleets bristled with weapons, scanning for threats. Signals of confusion and alarm echoed faintly, though none reached the Queen's influence. Captain Mira knew diplomacy was now a priority. If these factions discover what's happening before the Queen resumes control, it could spark a misunderstanding. We must prepare contingency plans to prevent conflict. Humans cannot rely on weapons here. They have to rely on thought, intelligence, and subtle influence. The crew worked tirelessly, studying alien communication protocols, cultural patterns, and diplomatic hierarchies. Every observation strengthened their understanding. Humanity's unpredictability, adaptability, and curiosity were their greatest tools. Finally, an opportunity arose. The Queen paused at a projection depicting human innovation, floating cities, advanced machines, and small cultural stories from Earth. The sensors recorded a gentle pulse, like a heartbeat. It was as if the Queen was studying humanity through Jaren's lens, intrigued and amused. Mira leaned forward. "This is it. Our chance to subtly engage. Let's send another set of projections, but this time, focus on understanding, not entertainment. Show her humans' intelligence, creativity, and capacity for empathy. Not weapons, not fleets, just humanity." The new projections displayed thoughtful innovations, medicine, environmental care, scientific experiments, and acts of kindness across Earth. The holographic images were accompanied by questions designed to spark curiosity. What drives humans to create? How do they solve problems? The Queen's energy shifted noticeably. Pulses of attention radiated outward, holding frozen fleets and systems in delicate balance. Jaren noticed too, leaning closer to the projections, speaking softly. The Queen's laughter softened almost approvingly, a sound the Odyssey's sensors captured as gentle vibrations throughout the paused galaxy. Dr. Halen spoke quietly, almost to herself. "Captain, she's learning about humans. Through one human, she's gaining insight into an entire species." Mira nodded. "And through that understanding, humanity earns influence without firing a single shot. That is the power we have: intellect, creativity, and courage." As the day passed, a challenge arose. A small fleet from a nearby alien civilization, unaffected by the Queen's pause, approached the region. Sensors detected dozens of ships preparing for reconnaissance, unaware that billions of lives hung in suspended animation. Lieutenant Kiro frowned. "If they reach her chamber, they'll see a human, and they'll attack, thinking it's some kind of intrusion or threat." Mira clenched her jaw. "Then we act, but carefully. We cannot use force. We can only guide, distract, and prevent escalation using intellect and strategy. That's what makes humans different." The crew devised a clever solution. They projected false signals, decoy energy signatures, and holographic illusions into the approaching fleet's sensors. The alien ships interpreted them as natural phenomena, cosmic storms, gravitational anomalies, and other navigational hazards. The fleet slowed, hesitated, and eventually diverted. Not a single shot was fired, not a single warning issued. Humanity's ingenuity had averted potential catastrophe. Mira allowed herself a small smile. This is diplomacy at its finest. Quick thinking, subtle strategy, and understanding of behavior. The day continued with lessons in patience and observation. The Queen remained engaged with Jaren, now laughing, questioning, and even expressing curiosity about the human mind. Every interaction deepened her understanding, and through her, humanity's reputation grew in a galaxy that had previously underestimated them. Mira realized something profound. Human strength did not come from raw power or technology. It came from the ability to adapt, think creatively, and act with courage and empathy. In a universe of advanced civilizations and massive fleets, these qualities allowed humans to influence events on a scale previously unimaginable. Even Jaren seemed unaware of the full impact they had. They moved with simple curiosity, asking questions about the Queen's culture, pointing out stars, and making small jokes. Yet, with each gesture, they guided the Queen's attention, subtly influencing billions of lives across the galaxy. Finally, Mira addressed the crew. "This is what humanity can do. Not conquer, not intimidate, but inspire, understand, and adapt. We've a chance to shape events in ways no one else can, and we do it without violence, without weapons, without fleets, just by being human," Dr. Halen added softly. "It's remarkable. The Queen's energy, her control over the galaxy, and the human's simple presence. It proves that connection and creativity can surpass raw power. That's the essence of HFY, humanity-focused victory. Our potential lies not in domination, but in ingenuity and courage." Lieutenant Kiro laughed nervously. "I never thought I'd say this, but a date just stopped the galaxy, and humans are steering history without even knowing it." Mira smiled. "Yes, and that's the lesson. The galaxy is watching, waiting, and learning too, and humans are proving they belong among the stars." The Odyssey remained in observation mode, Every flicker of the Queen's energy, every smile and gesture from Jaren, and every subtle interaction was recorded and analyzed. Humanity's influence grew quietly yet powerfully, shaping the galaxy without aggression. As night fell, Mira reflected on the events of the past days. Humanity had shown its potential: cleverness, empathy, patience, and courage. These qualities allowed them to navigate a delicate situation, influencing one of the most powerful beings in the universe. In the Queen's chamber, Jaren laughed again, leaning closer to the projection of Earth's innovations. The Queen's attention was fully captured, and the galaxy remained in suspended silence, held not by fear or force but by curiosity, understanding, and connection. Captain Mira Lang watched the stars outside the Odyssey. She knew the next steps would be even more critical. Diplomacy, subtle strategy, and observation were now the keys to humanity's influence. The galaxy's silence was not empty. It was a lesson, a stage, and an opportunity. Somewhere, across billions of kilometers of space, a human had captured the attention of the most powerful queen in the galaxy. And that human's curiosity, kindness, and intelligence were teaching the galaxy a lesson it would not forget. Humanity could make a mark, not through destruction but through connection, ingenuity, and courage. And thus the galaxy waited, paused, and listened not to weapons but to the quiet, profound power of one human and one alien queen. The adventure continued, with the Odyssey's crew learning, adapting, and preparing for the moment when influence, diplomacy, and humanity would shape the course of history among the stars. The galaxy remained frozen, yet tension simmered beneath the surface. Fleets of alien civilizations stirred, unaware of the reason for the silence. From afar, they observed the paused sectors and suspected interference. An unknown force, perhaps human in origin, was disrupting cosmic order. Captain Mira Lang paced the bridge of the Odyssey, eyes fixed on the holomap. "We have a problem," she said. "Other civilizations are closing in, unaware of why the galaxy paused. One wrong move and they might start a war." Lieutenant Kiro's fingers tapped nervously on the console. "They don't know about the Queen or the date. They only see a silent galaxy, and humans nearby." "Exactly," Mira replied. "They could assume we caused it." Dr. Halen spoke softly, pointing at the projections. "Captain, we have to prevent miscommunication. Our approach has to be careful, subtle, and non-aggressive. We cannot reveal our presence directly." Mira nodded. "Prepare diplomatic distractions. Use projections, illusions, and subtle signals. We avoid conflict without fighting." The Odyssey deployed holographic decoys. Energy signals appeared in empty sectors, mimicking natural phenomena like asteroid storms and magnetic anomalies. Alien fleets diverted cautiously, unable to risk moving forward. The plan worked, but it required precise timing and careful observation. Meanwhile, aboard the Queen's vessel, Jaren continued interacting with her. Each gesture and question deepened their connection. The Queen laughed lightly, her attention fully on the human. But now distant signals indicated other alien ships were approaching. "Captain," Tallis said, alarmed, "the other factions are getting closer. If they reach her chamber, the misunderstanding could spark conflict." Mira's expression hardened. "Then we act carefully." She activated a new set of projections. This time they displayed human ingenuity and diplomacy. Small gestures designed to communicate peace, curiosity, and intelligence to any observers. The alien fleets hesitated as the illusions projected into their sensors. They saw unexplainable patterns, signals resembling intelligent, non-threatening life forms. Confused and cautious, the fleet slowed and diverted their course. Kiro shook his head. "It's incredible. No weapons, no fleets, just clever projections, and we've prevented a potential war." "Human ingenuity," Mira said firmly. "It's our greatest strength. We survive by thinking, adapting, and understanding. Not by force alone." Hours passed. The Queen remained engaged with Jaren, entirely unaware of the near crisis outside. Each human gesture seemed to reinforce her mood, maintaining the galaxy-wide pause without triggering conflict. The Odyssey's crew realized they were witnessing diplomacy and strategy at a level no weapons could achieve, but the challenge was far from over. Another fleet approached, larger, more aggressive, and unwilling to be fooled by illusions. They scanned the region for threats closing in on the Queen's chamber. Mira took a deep breath. "This is it. We need to synchronize our actions. Human ingenuity plus careful strategy equals survival." The crew worked quickly, sending subtle projections, energy diversions, and simulated anomalies toward the approaching fleet. The ships hesitated, analyzing the strange signals. One of the alien captains attempted to communicate, but the Odyssey subtly redirected the transmissions, making it appear as a natural phenomenon. Slowly, the fleet diverted without attacking, avoiding the Queen's chamber and maintaining the fragile balance. Mira exhaled. No shots fired. No aggression. Humanity just prevented a war using only intelligence, creativity, and careful observation. Dr. Halen smiled faintly. It's remarkable. Humans are proving that influence is stronger than brute force. Mira nodded. Exactly. And the galaxy is learning too. Sometimes, diplomacy, cleverness, and empathy are more powerful than fleets of ships or weapons of mass destruction. As night fell, the Queen remained engaged with Jaren. Laughter echoed through her vessel, a sound that radiated energy, stabilizing the paused fleets and systems. The galaxy was safe for now. The Odyssey's crew continued to observe. Each interaction, each subtle projection, and each clever maneuver reinforced their understanding. Humanity's power came not from destruction, but from intelligence, creativity, empathy, and courage. Mira realized the lesson was clear. The galaxy was watching, waiting, and learning. Humans, though small and fragile, had the ability to influence events on a cosmic scale, not by domination, but by understanding and connection. The pause continued, but the threat of misunderstanding had passed. Humanity had proven its ingenuity, navigating diplomacy, strategy, and the most delicate situations without firing a single weapon. And somewhere, deep within the Queen's chamber, Jaren laughed again, unaware of the galaxy-wide consequences of their presence. The Queen smiled, her attention fully captured, maintaining the delicate balance of billions of lives with nothing more than curiosity and connection. Mira leaned back, reflecting on the events of the day. "This is the essence of HFY," she whispered. "Humans survive, adapt, and influence through intelligence and courage, not brute strength. And in this galaxy, that makes all the difference." The Odyssey remained vigilant, prepared for whatever came next. Diplomacy, creativity, and observation would continue to guide humanity's actions. And somewhere in the paused galaxy, the story of a human and an alien queen unfolded, a story that would be remembered for generations. The galaxy slowly began to stir. The Queen's laughter continued, but now it was accompanied by subtle gestures of curiosity, a gentle recognition of humanity's potential. Captain Mira Lang and the crew of the Odyssey watched carefully. Every movement, every ripple of energy signaled a shift, a change that could shape the fate of countless star systems. Dr. Halen pointed at the sensors. "Captain, I'm seeing fluctuations. The Queen is beginning to restore control gradually but selectively. Some fleets and colonies are waking while others remain paused." Mira nodded. "It's deliberate. She's testing the response, assessing the galaxy's readiness, and through Jaren, she's learning about humanity." Lieutenant Kiro leaned over the console, scanning the projections. "It's amazing. Humans are influencing history without firing a single shot. Our presence alone is making a difference." "Yes," Mira said, "and that's the lesson. Humans thrive by understanding, observing, and acting with creativity and courage, not by force but by intellect and connection." The Queen's energy pulsed outward, activating fleets slowly. Ships resumed their courses. Colonies began to communicate, and signals flowed once more through previously silent systems. Yet the galaxy remained peaceful. No wars erupted. No conflicts broke out. Humanity's clever diplomacy, subtle strategies, and empathetic influence had prevented catastrophe. The Queen spoke softly through the Odyssey's sensors. "You have shown me. Humans are unpredictable, clever, and courageous. I see potential in your species that no other civilization has demonstrated." Mira felt a chill of awe. "She's impressed," she whispered. "Not with power, but with intelligence, creativity, and empathy." Jaren, unaware of the full consequences, continued to ask questions, point at stars, and share small jokes. Each interaction strengthened humanity's influence. The Queen responded, not as a ruler imposing control, but as a learner, recognizing value in another species. Mira addressed the crew. "This is history in the making. Humanity is no longer just observers in the galaxy. Through ingenuity, courage, and empathy, we've earned a place among the stars. We've shown that even small beings can make a difference on a cosmic scale. The Queen's final decision was revealed through her communication channels. She granted Earth observer status in the Galactic Council, an honor rarely extended to newly contacted civilizations. Humanity now had a voice in interstellar diplomacy, protection from aggression, and access to knowledge previously unavailable. Dr. Halen smiled. "We've made history, Captain. Not through weapons, but through understanding, creativity, and connection." Mira nodded. "Yes, and this is only the beginning. Humanity has shown its potential. The galaxy now knows we exist, and that we are capable of influencing events far beyond our size or strength." Lieutenant Kiro laughed softly. "All of this, because of a date?" Mira chuckled. "Yes, but also because of what humans represent: curiosity, courage, empathy, and intelligence. The galaxy has taken notice." The Queen added through the sensors, "Humans are unpredictable and valuable. I will remember this lesson. Perhaps next time the date will include new challenges and you may be part of them." The Odyssey's crew laughed quietly. The human spirit had made its mark, not through force, not through conquest, but through thought, courage, and empathy. Humanity had proven its place among the stars. As night fell across Earth and the galaxy, Mira reflected on the events of the past days. Humanity had survived, adapted, and influenced on a cosmic scale. The pause had ended, fleets were active, and civilizations resumed their normal lives. Yet the story of one human and one alien queen would be told for generations. A story of connection, cleverness, and courage. Jaren waved at the Queen's holographic projections one last time, laughing softly. The Queen smiled back, her attention finally shared with the galaxy. Humanity's cleverness and curiosity had held the cosmos in balance, and their mark was now permanent. Captain Mira Lang recorded the final log entry. "Humans have shown that strength is not measured by fleets or weapons, but by intelligence, creativity, empathy, and courage. Today, humanity earned its place among them